Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I will be with all of you in just a second on this live stream. If you haven't guessed what the instrument is, this is your last opportunity to guess what both of the blind clips were. It's the same horn. I'm just waiting until more people show up to do an official start. But in the meantime, morning everybody. How are you doing? It's Trent Austin from Austin Custom Brass. Hope you're having a fantabulous day. I did this. This is a reveal on YouTube of some interesting things, and I want to have a discussion about it with all of you. I hope you all are doing well. Please, if you haven't guessed what that instrument is, let me know in the comments here. Just, hey Mike, how are you? You should stay tuned to this video because I'm showing off your amazing microphone in a bit. But I'm just waiting for more people to come before we start the official reveal of the blind horn tests. My assistant Josh is moderating, hopefully, on this forum, and he's going to be sharing it with other channels as well. So I appreciate everybody having fun and guessing with me in terms of what that horn might have been. And you could say, you know, some people guessed, was it a Monet trumpet? And some people guessed, we had a lot of guesses actually. Was it the Olds Clark Terry? Hey Doug, how are you? Was it the new Generation 2 Adams A1? I actually have that video in a raw format of the horn. So I'm going to post it just so you can hear. And that's the horn. It's the horn literally into some really nice microphones, but it's just the horn. So anybody who has a final guess can post them here. I haven't been able to give out the mouthpiece. So whoever gets it right gets a free in-stock ACB mouthpiece. To this point, nobody has guessed. So, hey Stu, how are you? Hey Robert, hey Markle, hey Doug, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm very excited about this. I'm a little giddy, actually, to be honest, because there's a couple things that I want to discuss in this video a little bit more in depth than we normally do, which has a lot to do with why I did this video. So while I'm delaying a little bit, I give everybody the chance to guess here on YouTube. So last chance while I grab some coffee. And this video, once I show it to you, you'll probably have some questions. And the whole point of these three videos, the first two blind tests and this subsequent reveal, is to discuss some very basic things when it comes to watching videos online, watching especially trumpet videos. So without further ado, let's do a couple launches. Hold on a second. Now that we have a fair amount of people here, I just want to welcome anybody who's tuning in right at the beginning of this session to, nice, that's another guess. Thank you, David. You're incorrect, sorry. Actually, everybody's incorrect so far, so which makes it even better. I don't think you'll believe me, and if I told you, I think you would probably not believe me at all. So that's why I did this video. So without further ado, here is the live reveal video of that trumpet. Now, this is a pretty raw clip. There's no artificial editing, both in the production and also the audio. So here you go. Have fun, enjoy. You won't believe it. Two, one, two, three. So there you go. That's the reveal. A plastic trumpet. Which is going to bring me to many questions that you might have. Now, I see some questions here. Actually, Josh, to let you know, that's not my 1.5, that's my TA1. So, but it is clear acrylic. The first big question is, before you toss your beautiful, nice trumpet in to grab this one, hold on. Great thing is you could toss this around. I mean, it's a Kansas City Royals color. Andrew, this is the horn from the clip, and I might put up the reveal video just so people can hear it. But this will be archived so you can actually watch the whole thing. Before you ditch your Box Strat or Yamaha Zeno or Adams or Monette or anything. For a plastic trumpet, wait. There's a couple big reasons I did this video. First and foremost, to prove to a lot of people that studio effects don't always give the true story. And the reason for that is a lot of people were like telling me in previous videos, you add too much reverb to your horns and so on and so forth. And I get it. I totally get it. In some ways, I want to sweeten up the sound of the instrument and make them sound even better than they are. But that raw clip that you heard was just into a couple microphones. I do actually have another video, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes, showing you what my setup is for recording. But the biggest thing here, folks, is no trumpet makes a note on its own. I hate to tell you that, and that probably sounds a little condescending. I'm not trying to mean that, but if one thinks that they're going to get an incredible result from buying an incredible trumpet. Now, listen, I sell trumpets, so this is a hard thing for me to actually freely admit. While that might encourage you to practice more, inspire you more to practice more, of course, the more you practice, if you practice correctly, and you're studying with someone who can guide you and push you towards, being a more efficient instrumentalist, then you're going to be able to get a decent result. This trumpet sucks. I mean, just sucks. You could see how much I was working on the valves. Like when I played that first clip and I played the Mahler, it's like a low B flat. I could play a low B flat. By the way, my assistant Patrick nailed it. He goes, "Oh, that's the plastic trumpet." He knew right off the bat. Maybe it's because he unfortunately has to hear me play at the shop often, but this is a toy. This is a novelty. I would never in my worst days wish this on anyone. But the thing about it is a good instrumentalist can make any instrument work. I remember going to a clinic with Arturo years and years ago, and some kid was like saying, "Well, you play great because of your trumpet." And he said, "Hold on, open up your trumpet case." And the kid had some sort of like Doc Severinsen, not the good Doc Severinsen, which I think Monette did some help on lead pipe designs and so on, but the 1000B, which was a student model trumpet. And it was an okay student model trumpet, but not great. And he picked up the horn with the kid's 7C and proceeded to sound like Arturo. Sounded magnificent. Now, let's flip that on the other side. Now you say, well, geez, if you make this sound good, you're going to make everything sound good. That's not the point of our videos here at ACB. Not at all. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm providing a template for you guys to hear the instruments. But I'm not necessarily playing better or worse because of the instrument. But what you will hear are huge differences. By the way, I've got a nice tease for an upcoming video that features this trumpet and another very sweet trumpet we have here at my home studio. So you'll have to stay tuned for that one on the YouTube channel. A lot of this goes into what I'm using for my recording gear and how I can get a pretty realistic sound. That raw clip you heard with this, that's a pretty realistic sound of what the horn is. The sweetened version is not realistic, no doubt. It was pretty amazing to see all the varied comments, because you would have never guessed that it was a plastic trumpet, right? Obviously, because no one did guess that. Although Chris came close. Let me show you this setup, and it's a pretty lo-fi video that I'm going to show you right now because I'm holding a camera and moving it around. But I want you to ask more questions if you have questions about what I'm talking about today. And I'm going to elaborate this in a future mini lesson as well. But hold on, let me pop that video in right now. Okay, this is going to be put inside the reveal video here on YouTube for the trumpet. I wanted to show you basically my setup. This is a pretty intense setup, but not terribly intense. The microphone that you're hearing right now is this Rode microphone that's on top of my Lumix camera. That's what I use for most of my videos. I'm holding a Logitech right now, which is nice for streaming, and it's a pretty decent quality video. What you'll see here is these are my studio lights, they're really good. I can't remember. That doesn't really focus, but welcome to Logitech world. Um, this is probably about $150 or so for the lights. You can see two microphones I have here, and then Barkley Infinity microphone, which is absolutely the bomb. It's one of the most wonderful microphones ever. And then we do have the veritable Shure 57, which is just a great mic, and I've had that mic for probably 20 years. I use it for most of my live gigs. This baffle is a monoprice baffle, sound isolation, which is just crucial to get decent audio, especially in this. I mean, this is my basement studio, so otherwise you get a lot of weird artifacts that bounce off. Now, the interface that I use, by the way, the cam link right there, is what I use to capture the Lumix into my Mac. The Complete Audio 6 is my interface that I use. It's a really nice, it's a 4-channel, pretty basic, but this is very high quality for what it is. I can't remember what I paid for that, maybe around $300 or $400 back in the day, and I've used it for years. And then one other thing that I use on my ribbon is this FET head, which is basically a gain. It adds maybe 20 dB of gain towards that mic. These two mics in tandem are really wonderful, and that's what you hear on that raw video. So I wanted to share that for everybody so they could check it out. So there you go. That's my recording setup in a nutshell. It's not super elaborate, but it's definitely not inexpensive. And I will tell you, I went through an incredible deep dive when it came to buying all of the different gear, microphones, the interfaces, all of the stuff. I don't wish it on anybody. In this time where everybody's doing home recording, though, maybe you'll watch that video, get some ideas. We're always happy to talk about that, by the way. Gary, you had mentioned something, if I practice 2,000 more hours, I'll sound like me. And I hope you sound better than me, honestly. But remember, it's not a quantitative thing. When I was younger, I always thought by practicing, 1,000 hours a day, well, okay, that's, that might be a little bit, or give it 110%. Why? How can you give something 110%? I never get that. This 100, okay. Anyways, but if you put 110% into that trumpet, I think it might explode. Quality practice is always better than the amount of time. I practiced in college 10 hours a day on average, I think, maybe. And that's no joke. But I will tell you, I was a terrible practitioner. I was terrible. I can get now done with detailed practice. I can get done 10 times as much in half the time. No joke. So, do you have questions about that reveal video, though? I'm actually very interested in hearing what you think. Again, I do not want anybody to go out and run out and toss their box Strat or whatever great trumpet that you might have into the trash and pick up a plastic trumpet. I will tell you, almost any basic trumpet will play better than that trumpet. This is, I think, literally, it's one of the 5 worst trumpets I've ever played. But, so, Nate, there's a great trumpet player. Nate, who just posted, I'm going to post his comment here. Nate posted, hold on. Oh, I'm getting used to this new format here. Nate he was the unfortunate recipient of the augmented trumpet. If you ever see that video, that was Nate's old horn. We replaced it with a much better trumpet. Of course, Nate sounded amazing on that trumpet. It's ridiculous how great he sounded on that trumpet. This is one of my big points. It's like, yes, you want a piece of equipment that works with you. You want a piece of equipment that makes you a better player. So I'm going to do some playing demos on this with my A1 and with this trumpet, just so you can hear them. I'll be switching back and forth from microphone. And I'll play some lead trumpet stuff right now so you can hear it. Hold on. Of course. Let's think about that. Let me go back to my talking mic. Of course, and I was peaking big time the audio when I played the A1. So you might hear a little tinge of brilliance in there with that horn. But I will tell you, one of the things, you'll obviously hear a difference with a better trumpet. But we do get to a finite point of like how much a better trumpet really does work for you. Yeah, Harry and Dan Fernando, right? So, scary. And I'm not sure they were the originals on the actual studio recording, but there's that one line. Oh, I'm on my talking mic. Hold on. Sorry. Where where it goes that F, and they go. It's so good, so good. Those are goals that you want as someone who's continuing to practice, and that's for me. I continue to practice and be inspired by such things. Could I tongue like that on my trumpet? No. I could make it work, but boy, I'm not going to talk about how the trumpet plays. It's a piece of junk. But my base point through all of this is still Mark Curry, one of the great mouthpiece makers in our industry, said it perfectly. And it's a little bit of a dose of reality as well. He said, no mouthpiece has ever missed a note by itself. So we have to put the energy, we have to put the time, the effort into playing. I want to read Stu's question here. Hold on. So I got 2 Stus on this stream at the same time. That's very cool. So, and for some reason, hold on. Oh, I can't see it. Okay. I had a stroke 4 weeks ago. Oh man, I'm so sorry. And haven't played in 8 months. How do I get back into the swing of things with my Manchester horn you sold me? Take it slow. Take it slow. Do not worry about. Think about it this way. Anytime that you get on the horn now is bonus time because you're building yourself back up. Play tunes, play melodies. If you have problems forming the embouchure due to your recovery, reach out to me. I can give you some more tips on that as well. So, I think we're thinking about the same song, Michael. I can't play that fast intro, but it's actually an F, and that's the first note of Hanging Long Enough. So, but Bill Spickler. So, when do you get too old to play? Well, I think Doc Severinsen just put his horn away, and he's 92. So you got plenty of time, my friend. So, you got plenty of time. Back to this. Again, please don't take this in the wrong way. Don't think that I want everybody to drop a really great horn for a cheap plastic trumpet. My point is this. You make the sound. You make the music. You obviously need to find the best match for your playing. And for me, I have 2 or 3 instruments that are the best match. No doubt. And recently I rediscovered how much of a match my old Clark Terry flugelhorn is for me. And it's part because of my respect and admiration of CT. But it's also, there's a vibe to this horn. There's no doubt about that. And I think one of our missions at our shop is to help you find the best match. Now, if you only have X amount of dollars, don't worry. There's still tons of great stuff out there, just not the trumba. So, good. I love this. Jason Cruz, man, thank you so much. I'm going to pop your comment up here so I can read it. Amazed how much the mic could hide some things. Actually, these mics are quite honest. So even that raw clip, which I can actually put it back up. I'll put it back up actually for people that are just watching. This is the reveal horn, folks. If you're just tuning in. So that was just a little bit for people who are just tuning in. That's the horn. That's the reveal horn for both blind tests. Mike Barkley did said it perfectly. The post-processing is where you can actually get the magic. I did a recording session years ago, and they asked me to play like a series of scales, short notes and long notes, and that was it. They made synthesized trumpet parts with my sound. Somebody came to one of my gigs and really liked my sound. I don't know why, and I said, you can't put my name on that recording. So I'll have to find it because it's very interesting. So, but, yeah, you got to be Michael Ackerman. That's a great question. You have to be careful when you go from changing a mouthpiece. Here's what I recommend to a lot of my students is once they get a new mouthpiece is to put all the other mouthpieces in like a soup takeout container, fill it up with water and throw it in your freezer. That way you can't switch your mouthpieces. You can't, hopefully you're not as much of a glutton for punishment as I am when I have just a few. Okay, that's terrible, right? Actually, to be honest, that's for a bigger project that we're doing where I'm going to actually record every one of our standard size mouthpieces for our shop pages. But, yeah, if you could play soprano trombone, that's cool. That's great. I mean, Stephen Bernstein's an incredible musician who plays he's a great trumpet player, but he plays an amazing soprano trombone. Wycliffe Gordon. There are a lot of people who, Chuck Finley's an incredible slide trumpet player as well. So, Mike, I don't know if that answers your question, but you have to give mouthpiece time. People think, oh, well, I got this mouthpiece and 2 days later I went back to my other mouthpiece and I feel better. Well, okay, there's a reason for that. Because you are instantly acclimating to a new piece of gear, be it a new mouthpiece or a new instrument. So when you go back to the other one, I always call it the horn plateau and placebo, where the first day you get your new horn. And that's a little bit what's happening with this trumba when I record it. It's like, boo, I feel like Superman. If I had to do my routine on that thing, it would crash real quick. I mean, it would be really brutal to play. And then you have to, because you're going to try to play any new piece of gear, you're going to try to play it like what you've been playing. Now, if you're trying to get a much more efficient setup, that's going to be futile, to be honest with you, because you're going to keep fighting the horn. So you have to give everything time. I feel like, and this is a hard thing for people to really fathom, but 6 months is a good time. Unless it's completely not working. But by daily recording yourself, listening to your articulations, listening to your response, and I have a good mini lesson on how to acclimate to different mouthpieces, and you should check it out. I'll put it in the comments after this video because obviously this is a live stream right now. So I think you could also say that the more competent you are, genetics I have no role in this. Roy Eldridge was 5'2" and had a triple high C. So Uh, you know, we can't say, well, this person's 7. It's not like basketball. There's, lung capacity. It's not true. Maybe with tuba, but with trumpet, it's such a low flow instrument. It doesn't matter. So the more you access horns, there's a little bit. That's actually a really good comment, Stu. It's a really good comment. For me, I have a real deep sensitivity to what horns do and the reaction to them. Now, I still play a lot and have decent results on some horns. But the important point here is when I test horns and I work with manufacturers making instruments, we can be pretty quick in terms of the adjustments. It's hard to say, so say you're playing, I've played a Xeno for 20 years and I'm looking for something that's going to do this or this or this. When you call our shop, all of our guys on staff are great trumpet players. Josh is a great trumpet player. Patrick's a great trumpet player. Kyle's a great trumpet player. Okay, Chris is a great trombonist, fantastic trombonist. So I haven't heard him play trumpet much. We need to get him to play some trumpet. But I do believe that you're going to have to rely on our opinion. And while we have some bias, I mean, obviously we have a bias towards our Mouthpiece line. We have a bias towards Adam's instruments. That's what I play. That's what Kyle plays. Josh plays. Chris plays. We're working on Patrick. So, but we have a bias. Although, if somebody comes in the shop and they're trying an A2, but they pick up a Shires that we have in stock. Now, Shires makes great trumpets, and they sound better on the Shires. We're going to say, hey, dude, you sound better on that horn. And this is a very, 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 very important thing. If they come into our shop looking for something, but they sound better on their gear, we're the first to say, dude, you sound way better on your gear. We're not going to push the hard sale because in the end, we want you to be happy and confident with what you have. So I know that's a bit of a tangent from the reveal, but this is a big thing that I've been struggling with because there are other manufacturers out there that, they push the hard sell on you because they say, well, this trumpet's going to do this and this trumpet's not going to do this. Well, you just heard me play literally one of the crappiest trumpets ever. There's really not a denying that with a decent result. So take that into consideration. No, you can't blame your instrument all the time. Like, I try to blame my instrument, but I realize my gear, like that Adams A1 or my Copernicus, they're such great instruments that if I make mistakes, it's on me. So, again, if you're just tuning in, I will give you one more quick listen into what the reveal horn was. If you're just tuning in. I'm watching that video, and I realize I should tell you one thing. The amount of effort it takes me to play the tromba. If you want to put in a percentage, like say it takes me 40% effort to play my Adams, that tromba's at 95%. It's a much, 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 much more difficult horn. The valves are so terrible. I'm struggling with those. I'm fighting them. I'm fighting the instrument. The intonation's so terrible. The response is non-existent. So one of the things that you have to understand is that you want to find the best match to make you not do that, to not do it. When I play my two primary horns, my two primary B-flat trumpets, we'll say, are the Adams A1 Gen 2, which is right here, and my Copernicus, which I warmed up on and did my routine on, which is over where I practice. Those are my two primary horns. I'm very lucky, I'm very fortunate that I have two incredible instruments to play. That being said, I think I have 30 or 40 horns here that I brought back from the shop because we can't go to the shop right now. And I've played a fair amount of them, all with pretty decent results because I'm practicing a lot more right now. We're here for you. If you have more questions about this after you watch this video, this might actually open up a bunch more questions, which we can elaborate further on a future video. But if you have additional questions, just call us and talk to us. We are all here to hang with you right now. I mean, this is what we have. So in the meantime, I'm going to get back to practicing, but not on the trumba. Stay tuned. In a couple days, I've got a pretty fun video comparing the trumba with something else. You might guess what that might be. But I really appreciate you coming in, taking your time. Thank you so much. Thanks again for your awesome support of the shop. We appreciate you. Kyle's actually at the shop. He gets to go in 1 day a week, and he's shipping out some orders. And we are so appreciative of your support right now. If you have suggestions for future mini lessons, send us an email, info@AustinCustomBrass. In the meantime, I wish you all a very good day. Happy practicing, and don't run out and buy a trumba plastic trumpet, unless you maybe if you wanted to throw it out the window in a moment of frustration. In the meantime, ciao for now. Take care, everybody.